So, day 17 of Carnivore. Woke up this morning and felt a little worse off than I normally do, which, because everything else is the same, leads me to believe that can be one of three possible things. It's either going to be that I had cheese yesterday with some ground meat, so it's either the cheese that's causing it, it's either the spices that I added to the ground beef that caused it, or it's the fact that I took Alpha Brain, which I have suspected might be an issue with my sleep, which is why I took a half dose yesterday. So, granted, it could also be the cheese, but I'm going to do some experimentation. I'm going to clean up the just like beef from now on, no spices, and then I'm going to add in Alpha Brain probably Monday and see what that does. And if I feel worse off Tuesday, then I know I don't react well to Alpha Brain and I will not take it anymore. Which is one of the very easy, nice things about Carnivore, is that you eliminate so much, so you can just add something, see how it makes you feel, and if it makes you feel better, you can tell pretty easily. If it makes you feel worse, you can tell pretty easily, because you just feel the same all the time. No ups and downs in blood sugar or anything else. So, yeah, we'll touch back in after jiu-jitsu practice today. Day 17 Carnivore, and we got a thunderstorm coming in, and I figured I'd get a nice walk on before it starts downpouring. Plus, I just love the energy of a storm. Anyways, I was thinking about it. I think that last night I had a stomach ache, woke up in the middle of the night and had to use the bathroom. I think that was most likely due to the cheese, then also just having a very large meal, because I ate like a pound of steak and then I had another pound of ground beef with cheddar cheese, a little bit of hot sauce, which didn't bother my... It could also be the hot sauce, because I have had issues with that in the past. But I think the poor quality sleep last night was most likely due to the Alpha Brain, but I'll experiment with that on Monday, having only eaten steak today and tomorrow. And if my sleep is off again on Monday after I take it, then I'll know that that's the culprit, which is how elimination diets work. It just allows you to control the variables. With that being said, my weight for Carnivore is the same. I'm 185. I think I actually went up to 186 this week. And what that means is I'm eating a lot. I don't know, like 2.5 pounds of meat a day, and then maybe 2 glasses of whole milk. So getting in the calories, lifting, I feel good. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, my Whoop doesn't say it, but I feel warmer than I normally do, especially at night. I'm not sure if that's just like my metabolism being bigger or increasing, since I am doing more lifting, being more physically active, and eating more food. But we'll see how that goes. I have had to turn the AC on at night in order to get a good night's sleep, which I didn't have to do beforehand. Anyways, jiu-jitsu open mat today. Did well. Did 4 6-minute rounds, so there just wasn't that many guys. But tomorrow there will be a lot more guys at that mat, and I'm actually show up on time this week, because I thought it was 11 to 1. Turns out it's 10 to 12. But you live and you learn. Anyways, my cardio on Carnivore, I don't think it's been affected at all. I don't feel any weakness in my muscles. Granted, I'll probably go off Carnivore for 2 weeks and then go back on it, and I'll see how that affects my lifts. Granted, I did just start going to the gym and getting back into my lifting program after being away on vacation. So I didn't really have the best way to compare that, because it wasn't like I did lifting, knew what my PRs were and what my 5 rep, like how many I could rep out easily for 5, and then went carnivore and saw if there was a increase or decrease in the strength. But mat wise, I feel good. It's coming in. I think my favorite thing about carnivore is just the fact that, like, I didn't feel hungry today, and then I got home and I literally ate 2 pounds of extremely salty steak and didn't have like an after meal. I didn't feel like an after meal mental fatigue like you typically would if you had to digest a bunch of carbs or like a sweet potato or anything else. It was just like, came home, ate, felt very satisfied, and then drank a bunch of water to kind of balance out the ton of salt which I consumed, mostly because I think it tastes amazing, but also because it helps supplement the sweat I lost from jiu-jitsu practice. So I do think my water consumption is up, if no other reason than when you're eating only steak, beef, fat, and salt. Regular water just tastes really good. It's just like, it's refreshing. It helps balance out the heaviness of the fat and the salt. And I don't know, it's kind of, it's not quite, but it's kind of like what your body craves with the freshness of fruit or an apple or strawberries, but you can somewhat get that from just drinking a lot of water. I don't mind it though. I enjoy water. Right now, I am getting up twice a night to go pee, which isn't an issue because I'm falling back to bed literally like right away afterwards. And especially now that we're going to the fall with temperatures getting colder at night, I expect my sleep to just keep getting better, because I do sleep a lot better in a really cold room, and my AC unit can only get my room so cold. But let's see, diet wise, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I found some sausage that I consumed yesterday and also a little bit today, and it's like a pork and jalapeno, but if you look at the carbohydrates, it's like such an insignificant number on the back. It has no added sugar to it. It literally just has like dehydrated jalapenos powder and maybe some celery powder, onion powder. But I had that. I mean, I feel fine right now. I mean, we'll see how I feel tomorrow, but they're really cheap. It's like 12 ounces of meat, and I think I bought it for $4.40. Granted, it was on sale, but 7 minutes in the air fryer, it doesn't get any easier than that. It's even easier than a steak. Plus, it tastes really good. My only thing that I want to watch out for is I don't want to like overconsume that. First off, because pork isn't like the best meat to be having due to the fact that pigs only have one stomach and have trouble breaking down. I think it's linoleic acid or linoleic fat, but something due to the heavy grain diets we feed pigs in today's society. Pigs have trouble breaking down a certain type of fat, which they then store in their meat, versus cows, which can break down that fat due to the fact that they have multiple stomachs. So I don't want to overconsume pork, even if it does taste really good when I eat those. And let's see. I do try to make sure that I cycle in and out spices with my food, like different spices. Like sometimes I'll just go salt on my steak. Sometimes I'll go a little bit of salt and pepper. Sometimes I'll go salt and onion powder. Sometimes I'll go like salt and coconut aminos. But I just cycle them through depending on how I feel. And I don't really get bored with steak. I also don't allow myself to think negative thoughts while eating it, which I believe is very important because it's how I was able to get used to eating raw liver. It was just every time I had it, I was like, this is good for me. And I just kept thinking that, and I didn't really allow myself to think, this is disgusting. I don't want to eat this. And over time, I kind of just got used to it. And now the taste of it doesn't really bother me at all. I mean, I don't find it enjoyable, but I don't find it, I have not had to suppress myself from gagging while eating it. And after the first month I started, years ago. But I do know my friends and some family members who I've had do carnivore, and they grow to like hate steak because they think about it, and then when they're eating it, they're like, oh damn, I'm eating the same thing. It's the same thing yesterday, the same thing this morning. No, I just eat it, try to enjoy it, find things about it that you enjoy. It helps when you learn how to cook it properly and you get good at timing it and pulling it out so it's a perfect medium rare. Because, I mean, hell man, it sucks eating a medium steak. Especially, if you overcook a steak, it's not the most enjoyable thing to eat. Other things I've noticed. I have started cutting back my consumption of dairy. Because I do think, my brother mentioned something to this effect, that consuming cheese and milk can, or at least over-consuming it, can help slow down your, it slows down like the fat loss. Granted, cheese and milk are both very heavy in fat, but calorie-wise, I do believe that they affect you. If you eat the same amount of milk and the same amount of meat, calorie-wise, I do think you lose more weight eating the meat. So, getting a little stormy, it's nice out. And I do love how constant my energy feels. My mind feels really sharp, but I didn't notice as big of a switch this time. I mean, sometimes when I first started doing keto, I was like, I noticed it and I was like, oh damn, I'm in ketosis, my brain feels all good. And I think it's just due to coming in and out of ketosis often in the years since I initially did it. And now I don't necessarily feel it as much, which is weird because normally the more you do something, the more sensitive you become towards it. It could also be that my schedule is a lot more chaotic in terms of I'm not going to the same classes every day. I'm not in the routine of school and wrestling, so I don't notice very small changes quite as often, which is also one of the downsides of not training at the same gym and instead just training with my brother and then going to open mats is you're not competing against the same people every single day, so you don't notice the small differences. And I don't compete against my brother. My brother and I do light drills together for technique, and then we compete against other people at the open mats so that we can both stay safe and go with one another without there being any risk of injury due to ego or trying to top the other person, which you get when you're more focused on winning. So I don't ever go hard with him, and at least for now, we just go light together. Anyways, I'm gonna enjoy this walk, and peace out.